Hey everybody, today is November 4th and it's Friday, so I'm going to go over the tech news of the week. So let's go ahead and dive in. Remember to thumb up the video if you liked it in any way. Okay, so Amazon recently announced their new service called the Lender's Library for their Amazon Prime and Kindle owners. Amazon Prime subscribers and Kindle owners. This is how it works. If you have a Kindle, this doesn't work on the iPad apps or Android apps or anything. None of the apps. You have to have an Amazon product, one of the Kindles. And you have to have the Amazon Prime service, subscription service, which is basically $79 a year. Now what this enables you to do is now you can take advantage of the Lender's Library, which currently, initially, it's going to have about 5,000 titles, a little more over that, which includes a bunch of top sellers, like over 100 top sellers of the New York Times. So, I mean, it's a really cool thing that's happening right here. Basically, you're going to be able to borrow books. You're going to get one book per month. You can keep it as long as you want, but you can't borrow more than one book per month. That's basically how it goes. And it's instead of buying the book, you just borrow it, kind of like a library, and the Lender's Library, you just borrow it, read it. Hopefully in a month you've finished it, and then you can borrow another book from the Lender's Library catalog. So it's pretty cool. What they're doing here is they're trying to make this a competitor against the iPad for people who read. You might not want to go for the iPad. You might want to go for the Kindle Fire, which is a tablet and a nice ebook reader. Just so you can get that there. I mean, it's a really good strategy that Amazon has against Apple right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out. Alright, so the HTC Rezound was announced for the Verizon network not too long ago, and it's a very, very impressive package. So I'm going to go ahead and read off some of the specs here, and I'm not even going to try to memorize it because it's a lot, okay? Let's go ahead and try this out here. Alright, so it's on a 4G course for Verizon's LTE airwaves. It comes with inbuilt Beats audio integration, you know, the Dr. Dre Beats, a 4.3-inch 720p Super LCD display, a dual-core 1.5 gigahertz processor, 1 gigabytes of RAM, 16 gigs of internal storage, 16 gigs on a micro SD card. It comes with ice cream sandwich support, but it's going to be shipping with the Gingerbread 2.3.4 firmware. It has a front-facing camera, which is going to be capable of 1080p recording, video capture. It's 8 megapixels with an f-stop of 2.2. And it's going to come with a pair of customized headphones. The Dr. Dre Beats headphones. That's a lot. And now I hope you've realized why I didn't try to memorize all that. Because it's going to be a beast phone. So, wow. So of course there's going to be some Apple news. First off, people have been reporting that they've been having some battery drainage issues with iOS 5. And Apple has confirmed that that's true. And they're working on a patch right now. So before Steve Jobs died, he kind of gave us this idea that they're working on a television set, which it's pretty interesting. Television set, according to Steve Jobs, was a broken industry, and he thinks it needs to be fixed and blah, 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 and that he's unlocked the code to TVs. So we'll see what happens there. Supposedly it's going to be run by the Siri technology. That's how you're going to be able to navigate through it. And we're hoping to see it from 2012 to 2013-ish, through those times. So yesterday, Apple announced the App Sandbox, which will take effect March 2012, which basically does is it makes all the Mac OS applications run in the sandbox, which then disables the applications from having access to frameworks of the computer, from having access to networks and devices. Now the Sandbox, if you've ever used a program such as Avast, which is a virus protection program, basically reduces the chance of infection for your computer. You can run programs in the sandbox, run files in the sandbox. In case it has some kind of virus or something, it reduces the probability of your computer getting infected. So can this be a good thing? Yes. But can it also be a bad thing? Yes. I don't know if app developers will be too happy about this. So you're on Sprint and you buy an iPhone 4S. Well, you have probably noticed that your speeds have not been too good. So Sprint recently announced, yeah, we're working on the speeds. We're not impressed. We don't like what we're doing here. So we're working on it. So for you Sprint users out there, good luck. Jawbone is releasing an armband called the Up Fitness, and what this basically does is, it comes out November 6th, by the way, but it's meant to be worn as a 24-hour device on your wrist, and it syncs up to your iPhone, and what it does is it tracks your lifestyle, how fit you are, the foods you eat, your sleeping patterns. It vibrates. That way it wakes you up in the morning when you set your alarm and stuff. It looks pretty amazing. It looks pretty cool. Not amazing, but it looks like a pretty cool product. It's priced at $100, so it's pretty pricey. But I'm looking forward to reading some reviews on it when it comes out to see just how it really works. So I kind of read this article not too long ago, and it basically said that AOL still has 3.5 million dial-up subscribers. I think you guys need to update your internet connection there. It's kind of, wow. So there's this interesting article I was reading, and it's kind of hard to explain, so I want you to watch this video and click the link in the description about it. Basically, it's, okay, I'm going to describe it like the only way I can, because, okay, basically a camera is keeping an eye on an intersection, and when cars pass by, a license plate pops up, you know, like a nice clear visual representation of the numbers. And it pops up and it follows the car, and right next to the license plate number you have numbers that vary, you know, up and down, which is basically the speed that the car is going. Now there's also the numbers. Behind the numbers is a color: green, yellow, or red. Green being that they're under the speed limit, they're good to go. Yellow being that they're a little bit over the speed limit, and red being that they're in danger, you know, they're just speeding way too fast. Now I can totally see this technology being used in the future to, you know, ticket people and stuff, and I don't know if I want to see this being used, but I don't want to see this being used in my city, because I know I'd be caught a lot and I'd be broke from the government sending me tickets all the time. I can totally see that happening though, but interesting stuff. Really quick for fun, I want you to go to google.com and type in "do a barrel roll" or type in "tilt." There you go. Do that, and yeah. If you guys know any other cool Google Easter eggs that you could type in the search results, comment below, because I want to see those. Those are really fun. So thank you for watching this video. Remember to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Again, I really appreciate you guys watching. I went over a lot of tech news, and, well, the lighting probably changed in the video and stuff. That's because I had people come over, and it's kind of crazy the way this happened. You know, I had to make this video within, like, I don't know, it took me like hours to make this video. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Alright, so the HTC Resound, and it looks pretty impressive for the Verizon. So the HTC Resound was announced for the Verizon's network for the Verizons. So the HTC Resound was announced for the Verizon network, cellular network. Okay, so of course there's some Apple news. There have been some buzz. There's been some buzz. Why do I say buzz? All right, so of course there's going to be some Apple news. All right, so of course, networks or devices. So the Sandbox, it's basically for you to reduce the amount of So yesterday, Apple, and just an amazing fact, just the fact that I read recently. It's kind of incredible to me to know that AOL still has 3.5 dial-up users. Is it the end of the credit card? We'll find out in a bit. There's an application called Squarespace on the iPhone. Squarespace card case be detected by stores when you walk in or enter. Love timers. Freaking love them. Love timers. Card case.